Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for Tower of God Chapter 566, or Season 3, Episode 149. Running a little bit behind because I had a late dinner, so yeah, running a little behind, not gonna lie, a little bit tired, but I kind of wish that I was recording when I first opened up the chapter, because I always, while I'm setting everything up, I go ahead and pull the chapter up. That way I don't have to do it while I'm talking to all of you. But I pulled it up, and all I see is this. All that's up there is the floor in the hotel where Jinsung Han Cha are staying. And so, to me, I was like my eyes widened. I was pleasantly surprised. This is a really good surprise in my opinion, because I've kind of been wanting to see what's going on with Ha Jinsung and with Cha. We haven't seen Cha since we've been back from hiatus, I don't believe. I don't think we've seen Jinsung except for that one conversation with Traumare, and that was very small. So I'm happy with this. As much as I've been liking and been saying how much I've been liking the fact that we're really focused in on what's going on this arc, and it seems like the story has a really tight focus to it. As much as I've been enjoying that, it is nice to get some variety here and there. It's nice to not jump around too much, but to at least jump around a little bit, just to break things up a little so we're not seeing the same thing every week. So yeah, this is a pleasant surprise. I am glad we're jumping around just a little bit more. So yeah, either way, let's get to reading. We have the floor in the hotel where Ha Jinsung and Cha are staying. Did you hear that, Jinsung? It sounded like a massive explosion. Is something wrong on the upper floor? And Cha's calling him. Yeah, I heard it too. You can't see up there from your room, can you? I can see it from here. Look at the size of those snake strands. I wonder where the family leader found a monster like that. Did you say snakes? We have to help the Slayer candidate. No, that's against the rules. We're not allowed to participate. All we can do is wait. We already called Princess Yuri. If she's here, she'll be way more helpful than us. So, again, I like that his plan, his sort of contingency was Yuri. Alright, let's let her handle that and wait for the right moment to escape. I'm not against, from last time, I'm not against Kunenba or Kunenrak, obviously, but I am kind of team Jinsung and Jinsung's plan and Yuri sort of breaking this up. I'm just kind of team Yuri here. Let's let her handle that and wait for the right moment to escape. I don't want to be a burden on my student anymore. This battleship belongs to one of the 10 great families. Won't it be hard to escape from it? Do you have a plan? And this is something I brought up last chapter too, where I was like, so if Mom does run away with them, what happens to Cha and Jinsung? So this actually answers what I was saying last week. Well, let's just say the Lopobia family isn't as invincible right now as you seem to think. So you're saying there's a way of getting off the battleship, or someone who can help us do so. I mean, other than the family head himself, it seems like things are falling apart a little bit. 2 of their branch leaders got taken down, 3 if you count Dekoko in the nest. Plus, we don't know what Lobadan's doing. Things are a little bit messy right now for them, with the exception of Traumare, who can just do what he wants. And we have these 2 things of light. We'll discuss the details later. Jinsung, I think someone just broke in from the outside. Now's our chance, let's go. Were the 2 things maybe, God, what was it? JamJam and Mate. I remember JamJam, obviously. I was blanking on Mate's name. Is that maybe those 2 fighting? I think someone just broke in from outside. Now's our chance, let's go. Okay. Outside the hotel. I'd like to go after that book. Okay, maybe. I'd like to go after that book. But the family leader ordered me to not interfere with whatever happens inside the hotel while the test is in progress. So I can't go inside. Even in his thoughts. Mosquito. Even in the internal monologue. It is interesting, though, that would... I never saw anybody saying this, but if anybody was saying, okay, why didn't he interrupt people like Ren getting involved and sort of interfering and stuff, but this would explain why, if anybody was wondering why JamJam didn't stop any outside interference. Seeing that he's holding on to a long spear, is he a spear bearer? That doesn't look like a throwing spear. It must be a striking spear. In that case, I'll charge at him. And we have Mate charging up, JamJam rushing in. Then, right when I'm close enough for him to strike with the spear, I'll speed up and turn to the side to narrow the distance between us. Okay. Huh? And he takes one of his hands off the spear. Why did you let go of the spear? And mosquito! He gets it. I guess because he is part Pobadao, so he probably has those like wave controller tendencies. Oh, and he starts boxing at him with his left arm. I love. Hold on. I love freaking, was it Sharknose? I love just Sharknose's face down here during these like action shots and everything. Oh, that's great. What are you doing? Why aren't you using the spear? Oh, this? This is a ceremonial spear. I'm not a spear bearer. It was just for this reaction face. It was just for show. This damn mosquito. And he even repeats it within his mind. I admire your silly formality. This is such a great fight. These two are so entertaining. But your hand is about to be crushed because of your own foolishness. And then we have him gritting. Oh, he hits the stone flesh. His hand. It's transforming. Okay. He casts stone flesh. And then we have JamJam knocked back. I see. So he imbued his physical Shinsu boost with an attribute. Interesting. Is he a doper? A term that refers to people with the ability to transform their body by adding an attribute to their physical Shinsu boost. This is cool. I mean, this is something that you could probably assume is possible given the rules of Tower of God. But it's so cool that, like, we get into... What is it? We've known, like, Shinsu boost for forever, but then we also get into Shinsu quality, and now we learn about people who add in their Shinsu quality to the Shinsu boost. Interesting. I've heard that's extremely painful. What's the attribute? Mosquito. Concrete. Ah, man, that's so cool. He goes in for another punch, but JamJam dodges away. And I love the determined face on Sharknose. And he goes in for another kick. I also find it interesting how, like, JamJam's got, like, the grab attacks, but also he seems to focus mostly on his legs and kicking, other than the bite he did at the beginning. And we have his leg clashing with Mate's arm. It hurts me even more to attack. And they burst away from each other. Now I see, you're a ranker optimized for defense. Then there's no point in trying to deal damage. You may be an uninvited guest, but since you're a guest nonetheless, I'll use an attack more suitable for you, Mosquito. I love JamJam. This hotel and I constantly strive to provide our guests with the best experience. And he brings up all these bongs. All the bongs of an advanced drinker. I love this. Because compared to a lot of people were complaining about how fights had just gotten to a bunch of Shinsu blasts and stuff, it's really neat to see their different fighting styles and abilities here. That's so neat. Sorry, I think I read, this hotel and I constantly strive to provide our guests with the best experience in order to make sure that insects don't enter the rooms at night, even when the windows are open. And then, he summons, I mean, I guess it makes sense, he's Lopobia, all of these robotic dragonflies with missiles. I've stationed these dragonfly observers all around the hotel, and they're not even Shinheo, they're observers. They're armed with powerful exploding missiles for emergencies, so that they can exterminate bugs like you. It's time to start the extermination, Mosquito. Let's see how long your concrete lasts. And we have Mate using more concrete to try to guard himself, and a massive explosion. Poor I mean, he can't turn Sharknose to concrete. Poor Sharknose. And we see more of them still coming in and causing more and more explosions. And it looks like Mate's turned his full body now. Those missiles are so powerful. He must be boosting the dragonfly's attack power as their anima. So it is an anima-related thing. It's only... And he called them observers, but he says because an anima, even though observers are kind of like a... what am I trying to think of here? Trying to... a scout thing? So maybe it's sort of like a genesect sort of thing, where the dragonflies are like animals, but also cybernetic. It's only a matter of time till they break through my Shinsu barrier. Come on, stay strong. I have to keep. And we see his full body. And poor Sharknose! It does seem like the quality is spreading from himself, though. Getting stronger. Alright. Look at that. If you ask me, that looks more like erosion than a boost, Mosquito. So cool. Look at this panel. Hold on. Bringing it up. Look at this shot. So cool. This is a really good fight. And honestly, I didn't really even think we'd maybe see this fight in like full reality. So it's so cool that we're actually getting to see. Like, I thought they'd just be holding each other off or whatever while the action was going on elsewhere. But we're actually getting to see the action, the fight between... sorry, I'm just laughing at Sharknose's face. Between Mate and JamJam. As impressive as that may be, I'm sure you realize that this kind of defense is pointless. The longer this drags on, the worse it is for outsiders like you. This is our family's battleship, after all. Kidding? Oh, kidding. JamJam just reported an intruder in the air around the hotel, and requested backup from the Rankers. Okay, so more Rankers from Lopobia might show up now. I was going to say, before we cut to that they might get interrupted by Jinsung and Cha making their move, but this would be really cool if we're sending in more Lopobia Rankers. Kidding? And then, alright, got it. Okay, I thought that was about to end. I was going to be like, that's over already? But no, we still have like nearly half a chapter, it looks like. Season 3, new participant 4. The lobby of the floor where Cha and Ha Jinsung are staying. And we have, it looks like Cha rushing out of his room and stomping down behind the guards. Oh no. Rip. Poor guy. He was just doing his job. And then the other one gets a punch to the gut. Impressive. Why don't you just join FUG? That's so kind of you to offer. What's the status of the alarm system? I deactivated all the necessary cameras and alarms. Now let's get changed. I hope it's the right size. Okay, so they're going to be Leroroing it. Like Leroro and Hatsu did in the workshop battle. By the way, are you sure we can trust this insider? Nothing's ever completely guaranteed. He's the reason I was able to notify Princess Yuri and the other participants of the battleship's location. But the person we're in direct contact with is probably just a messenger. I'm not sure who they are, but whoever their leader is, it's probably someone very high up within the family. Interesting, so we're having a who's the traitor kind of thing? Where since we just saw Kirin, is it possible it's Kirin? Is it Lobadan? I mean, it seems like this might be related to the Lobadan stuff. What could someone that powerful be so unhappy about? Beats me, but things are moving along very quickly, so we might find out sooner than we think. In exchange for helping us escape, I think they want to meet us. It's time to change shifts. Good luck. Okay, how are things in the hotel? Goruru. Gorudo. Ah, Kirin. It's been rather chaotic since the explosion caused by those intruders. Okay, but everything is under control. There's nothing to worry about. This shot of Gorudo is really cool. Second in command of the battleship. Supreme Commander of the Guards. I'll handle it. Insider and Branch Leader. Lopobia Gorudo. Okay, so we're seeing another of the branch leaders. And again, it's cool how, like, the eyes, eyebrows, and hair look so much like Chaumare's. Alright, I'm counting on you. Don't worry, family leader Goruro. And then, got it, Hyung. Hyung is a term used by males to address older males. Okay. So, assuming then, perhaps, that Goruro is assuming that he is the messenger. That's interesting. And of course he's calling somebody else by in a respectful address for older males, so there is somebody working above him. Sir, have you still not heard from each branch's reinforcements? Not yet. They must all be asleep. You know what they're like. All the hard-working people are on the front line. I see. It's just a few people, so don't worry too much. If necessary, you have me and Kirin. It's them. It looks like. And then we have this explosion. It's time for me to leave this place as well. What a cool shot as well! The central lobby. Yuri Zahard versus Tiara. And we're cutting back to here and seeing the flower petals come from Yuri. It's hard to write anything beautiful in such a short time, but I'm trying. And we have her scribbling lines. How about this? And then she marks a period at the end. I can't use any wide range attacks on another family's battleship. I have to compress my Shinsu as much as possible. And then she's charging up a blast and fires it off. I'll take her out with one deadly blast. What if there were someone with a body made of Shinsu that's invincible to attacks? And she's completely unscathed. And she wrote down, I want to become a person whose body avoids all attacks by turning into Shinsu. The end. And then, that's insane. We see the blast piercing through towards her. I'm assuming. And coming right up to her. And passing through her forehead. Did it work? Wait, no. She moves the pen again. She's still moving. You survived an attack like that to the head. Jeez. That's right. I'm completely fine. Surprising, isn't it? The mighty power of writing. What the hell? What kind of freak is she? Surprising, isn't it? The power of writing. With the right material and setting, you can create anything with writing. Although realism is the most important part, of course. Are you saying you can just turn your body into Shinsu just by writing it in a book? That's ridiculous. You don't believe me? In that case, how about this? I'll write about that Shinsu you used just now. I want to become someone capable of firing 4 blasts of that ultra-high-density Shinsu at the same time. The end. What? 4 blasts at the same time? If it were that simple, I would have already done it. That Shinsu you've been using is nowhere near as strong as my attack just now. We'll see about that. The power of writing is that it can make even the impossible a reality. If you don't believe in the power of writing, and we see the 4 bongs forming around her, then you can experience it for yourself, and it all fires towards her. I can't believe it. This is real. And the blasts go off. And we get cliffhung. That was a really good chapter. It felt really long, too. Like, even though it was a combat chapter, and combat chapters can tend to feel a little on the shorter side, because so much is, like, not, like, reading dialogue, but just viewing the art. That still, even though it was a combat-focused chapter, felt really, really long. I loved the introduction of Goruro, who seemed really cool, and all the stuff going on there. Goruro is working with somebody. Seems like maybe Kirin, though it could be Lobadan, because we still don't know what he's up to. And also Goruro, whoever's above him, has got to be really, really important, because he himself is a branch leader. Which is insane. Trauma Rate, not exactly running the tightest ship around here. So again, that's cool. Lopobia family's kind of falling apart. Beyond that, the stuff, I think my favorite thing, like, I love the stuff with Chanj and Sung, getting to see what they're doing, and how what they're doing, I just think is a really good place to take the story. I kind of like seeing what they're doing with this escape mission while everything else is going on. It just makes it feel like all the characters are actually doing something, and like while Bomb's doing his thing, the others aren't just sitting around, you know. So that's really cool. But my favorite thing was definitely JamJam versus Mate. That was so fun seeing both of their different abilities and stuff. Just they're both really entertaining and fun characters. I really liked that. Probably my favorite stuff. And then the end is really, really interesting with Yuri and Tiara, because like Tiara's power is like, it's almost like an Axis type thing where writing things into existence. And it's like, could she just write, I want Yuri Zahar to disappear, the end? Like, it seems like what she's done so far is only apply it to herself. So there's probably a limit to it like that. The limit is probably something like exactly that she can only affect herself with it. Because she said, I want to be somebody who can avoid attacks by turning into Shinsu. And then she said, I want to become somebody who can fire 4 blasts like what was just fired at me of that high density Shinsu. So it seems like it might only be she can only do one thing at a time. I would assume is probably a drawback, and can only affect herself. I would say those two things probably. But then again, I hate that I'm doing all this speculation and I'm really excited trying to be like, oh, what's this, trying to put together stuff. And like, then I remember it's not like something like One Piece where it's like, if I'm trying to piece things together, it's like we're all on the same page and we're going to see what happens when the next chapter comes out. It's like, I'm trying to put things together, but you guys are already 12, like some of you are already 12 chapters ahead of me. So you like, my speculation is probably worthless to you. But yeah, that was an incredibly fun chapter. I think generally Tower of God's just been good for like a while, for like the post time skip. It's just been good. But even among the good stuff, like that's one of my favorite chapters. That was really good. That was really fun. I still think the chapter we got like only 2-3 weeks ago, where it was mostly just, well, even Bomb vs. Ren, I really loved all of the Bomb vs. Ren chapters. So I don't want to you know, underrate that. But I was going to say the one we got like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where it was mainly focused on Lilial and the Serpent Master versus Hemaslime and Drossi and Dravi. I love that chapter. So yeah, this has generally just been really, really good, really fun. I hope you did enjoy the video, though. I'm going to go ahead and end it here and try to get it posted and everything just as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, my thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Tower of God, much, much more on the channel. I actually want to do some reviews as soon as I get done with them. I just have so many other videos I want to make too. So many things I want to make, and like not enough time in a day for all of them all the time. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, asking, I'll give you a link. If you want to help support the channel on Patreon, it is patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. Or you can become a channel member by hitting join down below, or you can do a super thanks. That's cool too. Either way, huge thank you to patrons and channel members. Thank you to Chosen Regular, Evan Hawley, Magical Girls, FR Nono and Huarian, Jerryton Student, David Langstaff, and Slayer Candidate SG. Massive thank you to them for their like amazing support, and massive huge thank you to all of you for just watching and, you know, being a part of the journey. But yeah, seriously, like, I kind of got distracted and lost my train of thought because I was just thinking, wow, it's amazing that like so many of them have supported me for so long. Huge thank you to all of them. And yeah, all of you for watching as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.